I miss you, James Neal. I really do. Welcome back to the SkyLounge, everybody. Here to review some Vegas Golden Knights action. As we lose 3-1 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And you know what? This is the start of our Canadian road trip. It's the Maple Leafs, the Ottawa Senators, the Montreal Canadiens, and then for some reason they're Canadian, the Boston Bruins. So, hooray to start off with the loss. And there was a real cyclical narrative about this game, which got really tiring, but you got to see it in full view as a Vegas Golden Knights fan, which I will reiterate multiple times. We played well. We got unlucky on one mistake, and that would fuck us up. Pretty much. That was the narrative of this game. And, positive things about this game, first things first is Max Pacioretty was back. So obviously Max Pacioretty was day-to-day on the, lower body injury, came back, traveled with the team, for the Canadian road trip. So he started in that second line with Eric Haula, Alex Tuck, and himself. I do really like that line. I like the offense it does create, especially with Max Pacioretty there, man. I mean, that dude is underrated as fuck, but that's just me. And to start this game off, again, really solid plays. And then just one mistake just fucked us up. And in the 5th minute, a really bad clearance by Holden. It was a really bad clearance. I mean, he didn't know where the fuck anybody was. And Connor Brown just right behind him, just scoops that shit up like goddamn Baskin Robbins and just nets it right behind Fleury. Because Fleury had no chance behind that shit. And so Toronto goes up one zip, and you would think, with the penalties, on both sides, that one or the other team would actually dominate, in that period. No, they both kind of fucked up on the power plays, and Vegas did well on the penalty kill, and the period really did end with that whole mantra of Vegas played really well. They took a lot of fucking shots, double digits compared to the single digit that the Toronto Maple Leafs were at. I think it was like 13-8 or some shit like that. I would have to double check the numbers, which I will later on in this review here. But you move on into the second period, and you would think Vegas comes out thinking, all right, these guys are dangerous. These guys are, one of the highest offensive scoring team in the fucking league. 9 seconds. It took 9 seconds for Mitch Marner to get a goddamn goal. And not even surprised. I wasn't even surprised because Vegas looked really lackadaisical on the face-offs today. Absolutely looked lackadaisical on the face-offs today. And again, it was just that single mistake relative to the really balanced and good game we were playing. Because in that same period, man, Vegas is able to get a goal. Okay, and this is by Cody Eakin, who, the thing is, it was a little slap shot effort, and by Shea Theodore, who is a fucking stud. That dude is awesome. And Cody Eakin is able to tip that into Frederick Anderson's little leg parts there, and 2-1. Okay, and up to this point, I kept saying, man, I think Vegas is just playing really well. I think they are outplaying Toronto right now. And to some extent, I think I'm right, because I felt defensively, Toronto was just letting our guys into that area, taking shots left and right. And credit to Frederick Anderson, man. I've been slating this guy for a long time, but these last few months have been really opening my eyes, like, in the playoffs, he wasn't that bad. In this regular season, he's doing pretty well. My whole thing is, hey, Toronto, don't fuck this guy up. He seems like a good guy. And he was able to maintain form as a goaltender. He was able to do all the right things. Just not the most fancy things like what Flower generally does, but Anderson was able to do all the right things at the right time. And he was able to keep that, let's be honest, that kind of weak defense up to standards of what they should be, one of the top teams in the league. And so we move on into the third period, and this is rough because, listen, so Patrick Marleau lays a hit onto Eric Haula, and Eric Haula lands really awkwardly on his knees because he couldn't get his, he couldn't get the stick out or something in time. And, fair play. It's a hit, but unfortunately, the way Eric Holla landed, he was injured. He was stretchered off in the early parts of the third period, and you never want to see a player go through that. And especially it's our guy. Like it's my guy. It sucks. It fucking sucks. And all I'm hoping right now is Eric Holla, please get better. I don't like beyond hockey. I hope this guy just gets better. It's not fair to get an injury like that. So, such a nice guy, and hopefully Eric Holla does get better. And the thing about the Vegas Golden Knights is whenever they're under pressure, they play better. There's something about the Vegas Golden Knights. They play better under pressure. They play better when the chips are against them. And I felt in the third period they played phenomenal. Without Eric Holla, and Cody Eakin was moved up to the second line, who I think he played pretty damn well. And for Vegas to come out of that period with, again, double digits on the shot clock and not get a goal, it's unfortunate. It happens. And I just felt Vegas should have had more goals in there. I mean, obviously, people always say, the hitting the fucking crossbar, hitting the iron, bad puck luck. But at the end of the day, we didn't get the shots in, and that shit happens, man. And the reality of this game was this. Yes, at the end, Vegas kind of pulled back, especially once they pulled Marc-Andre Fleury. I felt the special teams was kind of at best, and unfortunately, due to a Thomas Hika mistake, again, like playing really well, and then just the one mistake fucks you up. Again, this was the story of this was the entire premise of this entire game, and the thing is, who got the goddamn goal in there? Kadri, that's right. So Kadri gets the goal in there, and I could blame this on individual players, obviously, and I do. I'm a fucking fan. I'm just gonna do so, but also as a collective effort. There were categories that, again, were really glaring. Power plays. How the fuck are we not scoring on power plays? This is pretty goddamn ridiculous. And not being able to protect Flower because of bad defensive turnovers. That's really been the really modus operandi of shittiness in our game as of late in this season. And it's kind of frustrating when you can't get the bad habits out. And it sucks. It really does. Because, Flower, to be fair, Flower had a pretty decent enough game for a losing goaltender. 18 saves on 20 shots, 90%, not too bad. Whereas, again, shout out to Frederik Andersen. Holy shit, man. 36 saves on 37 shots. Again, this guy does all the right things. And unfortunately, players who just do their jobs don't really get praised enough. But this guy deserves all the praise. And as for Toronto, man, I mean, dude, coming into the season, we knew defensively this team wasn't going to be all that solid, but they're able to get out dirty wins. They're able to grind out dirty wins, and that's what's really fucking important. Because once you got to put those 2 points. You got to get those 2 points, and once you do, you're good. You're good to go. And Toronto's able to do so in an ugly way, whereas the Vegas Golden Knights, as best we try, it just isn't good enough, and we come out injured again. And so again, boys and girls, if you're a Vegas fan, it's frustrating, guys. It's frustrating. Okay, when your team doesn't start well, it's frustrating. Okay, but here's the thing: you gotta stick to it. You gotta stick to this team. And, fair weather fans out there, listen, if you're going to start hiding now, I wouldn't recommend a solo team for you at all. The whole idea of cheering for a team is to be in the great moments and also the terrible moments. So we got to be, we just got to accept the fact that right now we're at a bit of a slump, but we're going to get back on it. Go Knights, go. We got the Senators next, so hopefully let's get our shit up, get focus up, and just keep it going. Eric Holla, please stay better. Hope you get better, my dude. Such an awesome guy. Let me know what you guys think. Follow me at the Sky Lounge on all links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily contents. Now fuck off. You know what's crazy? My two teams got fucked by Toronto twice.